coming down from heaven, Walter Cronkite. This is how it is. January 24th, 2022, with the 2020 twin. I'm Jesha Miller, petitioner of the Constitution's checks and balances, of which has been petitioned to President Joe Biden, who has concealed this from the public, which is a criminal act under Title 18, Section 1001. As you see, petition to the White House, Joe Biden, President of the United States, is the Constitution, checks and balances. Taking oath of office, he swore to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. Now, he is breached on that oath of office. So, having breached, because also there is a transfer of power, which gives me the authority to give orders, enforce obedience, and make decisions. As I am the petitioner of the Constitution, checks and balances, and this before the President of the United States, of which he refused to acknowledge and honor the Constitution's checks and balances. So, this being his duty and obligation as he took oath of office, I gave this to Senator Todd Young, as you see. And he says, please explain what you would like for Senator Young to do on your behalf. Call a press conference informing the public, not hiding this. This is a public concern when the entire judicial branch of government is corrupt. Call a press conference informing the public of the checks and balances petition because the judicial branch imposed slavery, oppression, denying the First Amendment right to speech press to conceal their own corruption and abuse of power. And it says, and Treasury owes $6.75 billion immediately for the judicial branch corruption. President Joe Biden and Congress are obligatory both morally and by law for the checks and balances, which are mandatory by law and to be proven before a candid world. So where is the media reporting on this? Y'all just seeing it on YouTube right now, right? Okay, this is urgent as I need money to eat, buy a house, car, medical treatment, support my family. And there you have that. And he did not call a press conference, did not take it to the floor. This upholds the integrity of the Constitution. So now you're starting to understand what a government cover-up is. Okay? So, since he didn't do that, I sent him an email. Senator Todd Young, as you can see, at the top, Todd Young, casework, edit features, Ashley Parker, Yamiche Alexander, and the desk of CBS in New York. And that would be Wendy McMahon, co-president of the news, who I sent an email for her to call a press conference for the president to address this. You cannot conceal government corruption. This is mandatory by law. Everybody get it. The president must address this as he took oath of office. Now, Article 2 Section 3 imposes obligations on the President Biden, serves as a major limitation that the executive is under a duty to faithfully execute the federal laws. Well, here we go again. The Constitution checks and balances. What do the checks and balances do? When the government is corrupt, they have to be checked. Come on. Now, for those law students, well, it should be a national protest all through the Ivy League, Yale, Harvard, Stanford, as I said, Duke, all of the law. But for real, as patriotic Americans, everybody has to call for this. Now, as I said, execute is under a duty to faithfully execute the federal law and not disregard them. That's what he just did. Now, as for his disregard of them, as evidence of this is, once again, certified mail to Joe Biden. There it is. Certified mail number, which arrived February the 9th, 2021. This is January, next comes February 2022. So basically, for a year, he has disregarded the Constitution checks and balances, which his duty says he can't do that and not disregard them. Okay? So that was for the first time. If you think he wasn't actually concealing it, then it certainly wouldn't happen twice. But the evidence speaks for itself. You see, facts do not change because you disregarded him. Once again, President Joe Biden, certified mail number. And this, he received June 16th, 2021. This is 2022, January, 6 months ago. So, in all fairness, he is refusing to honor the Constitution checks and balances, and to the magnitude of that, of which Senator Todd Young knew, but he has not informed the public. It's called concealment. That is a criminal act. Well, again, Title 18, Section 1001. President Andrew Johnson and William Clinton, who y'all know as Bill Clinton, were impeached by the House, at least in part for allegedly violating their take care duties. This is his number one duty. Number one, not number two, number three. This upholds the integrity of the Constitution. You cannot be the leader of a free people if you do not uphold the integrity. That's just what the Constitution requires. At the minimum, the president may neither breach federal law nor order his subordinates to do so. For this reason, Senator Todd Young is to take the Constitution checks and balances to the floor January 20th, 2022, to immediately and publicly address the checks and balances petitioned by me, veteran Jesha Miller, supported by irrefutable evidence, meaning impossible to deny or disprove, from the trial transcripts that Judge David Kiley imposed slavery prohibited by the 13th and 14th Amendments. The Constitution itself does not allow President Biden to nullify laws. And in this case, the checks and balances are an essential part of the Constitution, meaning absolutely necessary and extremely important to uphold the integrity of the Constitution. Being petitioned by the Constitution, checks and balances, as you see again. The president must immediately address this, as it says, or impeachment. This is his number one duty. This is corruption. And it is being essential, we must get a meaning. Essential means fundamental, vital, cardinal, means so important as to be indispensable. As I said, he can't nullify none of these laws. Government powers are limited. Cannot impose slavery, prohibited by the 13th Amendment. Essential implies belonging to the very nature of a thing, and therefore being incapable of removable without destroying the Constitution itself or its character. Anything else is criminal in defiance of the Constitution. That's Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy against rights and oppression. If you hit the lottery, you want to get paid. Once I say that, I can say it again. I'm owed $6.75 billion. Okay, you know that's another level. Just like the constitutions are another level. See, past the United States Supreme Court, because the United States Supreme Court itself is corrupt. When I say they have to be checked, I say it, and I mean the entire judicial branch of government. Now, we've done this, and that was January 20th, 2022. And Walter Cronkite told you today is January the 24th, 2022. So again, he is also obligatory to the Constitution's checks and balances, both morally and by law. And by law, they have to address it. Article 2, Section 3 serves as a major limitation. They cannot do this. The students must protest against. From New York to California, you know how the story goes. From Maine back down to Florida. Everybody, this is major. The president himself is part of the corruption. As we do this, the United States Supreme Court petition seeking stay. Petitioner seeks Justices John Paul Stevens and Sandra Day O'Connor, who are former justices. Petitioner is entitled to injunctive relief for my immediate relief from illegal imprisonment with reparation from judgment, other proceedings in the Indiana Vanderburgh Circuit County Court that was so lawless that imprisonment pursuant to them is void, and therefore res judicata is inapplicable in a habeas corpus proceeding. We have that. United States Supreme Court. There's a stamp on that they received this, and they continue the imprisonment. Now, here we go again. If it was done once, make mistake maybe. No mistakes in the United States Supreme Court shall be allowed. So here we go. This is only an affirmation of the corruption in the United States Supreme Court. The checks and balances requires that the judicial branch of government be checked. So here we go. Again, you see the stamp that they received this. Petition requires judiciary to account for a man's imprisonment. The judiciary or the justices of the Supreme Court, which must review or give judgment affirming or reversing the conviction. Because remember, res judicata, the previous judgment is inapplicable. And as they say it by the transcripts, you gotta let me go. The habeas corpus is guaranteed by the Constitution, which is violated by counsel that is denied the writ's review to withhold judgment, which is required by the Supreme Court Justice's disposition for relief that was first sought in the lower court. See, I went through the process, the lower courts, and you go to federal courts, and as I said, Seventh Circuit in the United States Supreme Court, and as you see, that stamp once again. What I just established is that the United States Supreme Court is corrupt. With the United States Supreme Court corrupt, then the entire judicial branch is corrupt in an appellate court system, appealing from the lower courts to the higher court to the highest court. Okay, so now we on another level. The Constitution's checks and balances. They have to be checked, of which the president has not addressed, concealing from the public, as I said, in conspiracy title 18 section 241, conspiracy against rights and oppress. $6.75 billion. Well, that puts me in another league. Not a millionaire, but a billionaire. Another league. So here we go. Now, today, I call for the Black Caucus Executive Director, Vincent Evans, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty of Ohio, the chairperson, and Daryl Doss, the policy director, in reference, as you will see this, and this was emailed today, which states, reference to impose obligations on President Joe Biden, concealing the Constitution checks and balances, criminal pursuant to Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy to deny rights and oppress, with Treasury owing $6.75 billion for continued oppression by Janet Yellen. She's the Secretary of the Treasury. Well, she got this. She should have dispersed that money. But she ain't trying to do that, not to a black man. You understand where I'm coming from now? That's why the government is corrupt. The racism in government. The oppression in government. President Biden must be held accountable for obligations under Article 2, Section 3, faithfully see to it that the federal laws are executed. Now, the checks and balances are mandatory by law, extremely important to uphold the integrity of the Constitution, takes precedence over all matters, meaning the condition of being considered more important than someone or something else. Priority of importance, order, or rank. This is the number one thing that has to be done when it takes precedence over all matters. What part did Todd Young not get? That whatever he was doing, he had to drop that, go call a press conference. As I said, what he's doing is concealing corruption. That's the criminal act. But the president, Joe Biden, is now obligated to honor the Constitution checks and balances petitioned by me, as I showed you. The United States Supreme Court is corrupt, imposing slavery. That's when they commit an act de novo against the law. You know what I'm saying? So, as we went through this, I affirmed that he received this by certified mail twice and ain't done nothing. That's concealment. He had to say something about it. Did not say anything. And as the Constitution checks and balances, because checks and balances meant that the legislative was to check the executive, was to check the Supreme Court, and none of this happened. Constitution ain't got time for that. As I am the petitioner, I'm a political figure now. I'm in the game. It's a showdown between me and where this guy at? United States Attorney General Merrick Garland. Now, his duty was to advise as the highest ranking law enforcement officer, and he's corrupt. That's why the government's corrupt. It's showtime. It's got to be a showdown. And this is between me, David, and Goliath. Merrick Garland. He's the big cat on the hill. I'm the little guy in the field. It's supposed to be a battle. Rocked upside the head. There it is. Yes, sir. And the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland has not said nothing to the public about this. Yeah, it's time for a national protest, and these officials have to be held accountable. And the President of the United States, well, serving notice. If you ain't done nothing as today, Walter Concrete, Monday, June 24th, and said nothing by tomorrow, January 25th, when you didn't have this for more of over a year. Constitution, as it said, President Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton calls for your impeachment. Tricky Dick Richard Nixon calls for the president's impeachment. And, don't forget, the United States Supreme Court is corrupt. So, there you got it. Then you had the FBI Director Christopher Wray concealed it also. So, you got the United States Supreme Court, you got the United States Attorney General, you got the FBI, all of these are law enforcement. Now, to the extent of law enforcement, we're going to break it down like this. In the transfer of power, the Metro Police Chief, Robert Conti, was served and given an order to execute the indictments of some of these corrupt officials. As you see, for Senator Todd Young, Treasurer Janet Yellen, Congressman Larry Bouchon. They didn't go arrest nobody. That's the corruption, because if you do anything and call for law enforcement to arrest you, you will be arrested, you will be indicted, and you will face the consequences. Well, judge not lest ye be judged, as the book say. The judicial branch must be judged because they've been judging, and they cannot be corrupt. There is no corruption in America. Okay, students, y'all got free will to protest right now. The law students, if you ain't out there, you ain't practicing law. You're not upholding the integrity of the law. So why are you in law school? All America and patriotic to America. Yeah, this is how the Trump thing went down, and you saw that clown in Barnum and Bailey Circus act, and now it's showtime. You see, you got to show and prove. If you don't do that, there is no integrity in the Constitution. As I stated, President Joe Biden, you cannot be the president of a free people if you do not uphold the integrity of the Constitution. It's showtime. Let's go get it, President. This will be up and on YouTube, and it's gonna be on Twitter, and we're gonna be tweeting. Let's do it. Showtime, Mr. President. Obligated. Number one, this is what you must do. Ain't got no options. There is no option. You cannot run the option. You either drop back and pass like Brady, and do it like Mahomes and come out a winner. I mean, the playoffs is tough. You got to play for this. It is no given. We don't just pass out championship. You got to play for this. It's me against your man, the best man. King Kong versus Godzilla. Let's get it on. Hello.